in my video where I predicted the 3 largest automakers in 2030. Well, I didn't realize back then that Volkswagen was going to say some pretty stupid things. And, well, essentially, I didn't know Volkswagen would assume that Americans are stupid. And that is exactly what they've just done. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. Now, to those of you who have sent me emails and messages asking how my injuries are going from my crazy bike crash when I went to hospital, and they did all these tests on my heart and stuff because they thought I might have nearly killed myself. Well, mostly I'm recovered. I have had a bit of a tough time sleeping with the broken ribs, but they're getting better. And I was able to go to the gym today and do some bent over rows, actually work out my back, which I couldn't do before because I was just putting too much pain on my chest, on my ribs. So that was a really, really nice, awesome feeling to be able to do that again. Also nice to be able to sleep, half decent as well without having to drug myself up every night. However, now I seem to have calmed down with a bit of a virus from my boys. Thank you, boys. That's what kids do, isn't it? They give you illnesses. Anyway, Volkswagen are saying only 55% of the cars that they sell in the US in 2030 will be electric. So who exactly is going to buy the other 45%? Seriously. Why on earth would someone, for example, let's say Americans love pickup trucks, right? That's a huge percentage of their market. If you are going to go and buy a pickup truck in 2030 and you decide to buy one that has an engine in it, an internal combustion engine, right? Knowing that the writing is on the wall. I mean, even if, say, for example, they're still available, right? They're clearly going to be in America. Obviously, Ford, General Motors, Ram, and Volkswagen, they all sell pickups, right? They're all still going to sell internal combustion engine pickups in 2030. They'll be available. But who in their right mind walks into a store? You can still buy Nokia 3110s, 31, whatever they were, many, many years after smartphones were around. But how many were they selling of those? Very little. It was minuscule. That market just died in the arse within the space of a couple of years, right? So really, when you can buy an electric pickup truck for the same price, by the way, battery energy density will double over the next decade. So an electric pickup truck will have plenty of range. You'll be looking at 600 to 1,000 kilometers of range easily. The average pickup truck that's affordable. I seriously think Americans are not going to be stupid enough to just go and buy a gas-powered version, knowing that the writing is on the wall, just like it was for Nokia mobile phones back then, right? Just like it was for Kodak, film cameras. How many people do they think are going to do that? Like, maybe it's fair to assume that there might be like 10% of people who are idiots who just go, I don't care about resale value. I'm going to spend 60 grand, 50 grand on a pickup truck and to hell with you all. Even if it's worth nothing in 2 years, I don't care. There's going to be some of people like that, but surely not 45% of the public. Come on, seriously. I mean, the average American does finish high school. So I don't understand why they think Americans are idiots. It doesn't add up to me. Now, at the same time, Volkswagen did release some good news. They said they're going to invest $7.1 billion on electric vehicles in the US. So that's for the US alone, not for the rest of their market. Obviously, they sell more vehicles outside of the US than in the US, so it's a fair bit of money. However, considering the fact that Volkswagen are investing $200 billion globally, it's actually not that big of a percentage of their EV spend, is it? Now, Scott Keogh, president and CEO of Volkswagen Group of North America, said that the car maker aims to have 55% of US sales fully electric by 2030. And they're going to do that by locally integrating their combustion engine and electric vehicle assembly, as well as American-focused engineering, battery know-how, and software development. All the kind of marketing cliche jargons, really, to be fair. This is what he said. American ingenuity and manufacturing know-how are at the heart of our strategy for growth, and thousands of men and women are working hard every day throughout North America to bring the Volkswagen brand to life for consumers. This profound commitment to our localized capabilities will transform Volkswagen into one of the leading EV brands for its commitment to innovation, quality, and the communities we call home. Obviously, someone wrote that for him. I don't think he made that up himself, surely. Anyway, he says here, right? He's kind of saying Americans are ingenious. He said that, American ingenuity, right? Americans are ingenious. And then on the other hand, he says, but they're stupid. It doesn't really, it's like he goes, high five. And then he goes, idiot. It's sort of like, what? Really? You just high-fived me and called me an idiot. I don't understand. Now, the Inside EVs has made this comment, which is a bit confusing to me. Maybe you can explain it to me. The transition to an all-electric lineup means Volkswagen will start to phase out gasoline-powered vehicles from its American lineup, aiming to exit from sales at the beginning of the next decade. Now, how exactly will they exit from sales of internal combustion engines at the beginning of 2030 if 45% of their vehicles in 2030 are internal combustion engine vehicles? That doesn't really make sense to me. One thing I do like, though, that the company are doing is that they are advancing their electric vehicle lineup right now, including their US-made ID4 in 2022, the ID Buzz electric microbus in 2024. Seems like a lot of people really like that. And new electric SUVs from 2026. In total, the Volkswagen Group plans to introduce more than 25 new battery electric vehicles to American consumers through 2030, 25 new EVs. Personally, I think that's a really bad idea. I think they should just focus on ramping up production. Just make 10. Make 10 and make a lot of them. Do that, make them well, make them efficiently, make them affordably, and that will be able to get them to the point where they won't have to say Americans are stupid because they're going to buy internal combustion engine crappy vehicles in 2030 when electric vehicles will either be cheaper or on par in terms of cost, but far superior in terms of their operating costs, their running costs, their lifetime usage cycle, their resale, etc., etc. You get my point. As previously announced, the ID4 SUV will enter production in Tennessee in 2022 and it'll be sourced mostly from American regional suppliers. By mid-decade, Volkswagen plans to upgrade its plants in Puebla and Silao, Mexico for the assembly of electric vehicles and components such as e-motors. I'm sure I didn't pronounce those Mexican towns correctly. My apologies. Don't really care though. In other news on Volkswagen's plans, the group plans a US battery cell plant, a US subsidiary of their software unit as well. So recently, Volkswagen has announced plans to build a battery cell production facility in the US to meet growing demand for batteries across its brands. And in addition, Volkswagen is expanding its battery know-how in the US, opening a new battery engineering lab called BEL in Chattanooga, Tennessee in May 2022. This facility will enable the company to test and validate batteries for all Volkswagen electric models in the American marketplace. In addition to that, Volkswagen is investing in R&D through its NAR Center of Excellence, battery cells with locations in Belmont and Chattanooga. The COE will allow the car maker to accumulate know-how and research capabilities in battery cell technology. The center will closely collaborate with technology partners QuantumScape. QuantumScape, by the way, are working on solid-state batteries, so that's exciting. A lot of investment has gone into QuantumScape. I think more investment has gone into QuantumScape than any other solid-state battery company in the world, which is exciting to see. So Americans, for some reason, America seems to have the most promising solid-state battery companies in the world. Finally, Volkswagen is committed to developing software and digital solutions for American consumers developed directly in the US. As part of that, Volkswagen Group's software entity will open a North American subsidiary in 2022 in May this year, with software units in Seattle and California's Bay Area. The goal is to strengthen the company's digital footprint in America. Getting back to the key point of this video, by 2030, 0% of buyers will want internal combustion engine cars. 0. Okay, maybe 1%. But I mean, 0 or 1, not much difference is there. Volkswagen, what are you thinking? Come on, get your act together. Don't treat Americans like idiots. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.